You know, when you picture a factory robot, you probably think of a giant, powerful arm locked away behind a metal cage, right? Well, that image is quickly becoming a thing of the past. We're now in an era where robots work hand in hand with people, right on the same assembly line. This isn't some far-off sci-fi concept, it's the reality of collaborative robots, or as they're called, cobots. In this explainer, we're going to dive into how these robotic co-workers are completely reshaping entire industries and, yeah, what it might mean for the future of your job.
So, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by figuring out what really makes a cobot different from its old-school ancestors. Then, we'll dig into the numbers behind the massive market they've created. After that, we'll get real about the hurdles, what's stopping them from being everywhere. We'll also see how cobots are a huge piece of a bigger idea called Industry 5.0. And finally, we'll bring it all home and look at what having a robot coworker could actually be like for you.
All right, let's get right into it. First things first, we need to bust a myth. The idea that all industrial robots are these huge, dangerous machines that need to be caged up, that's old thinking. The whole point of a cobot is to do the exact opposite, to tear down those cages and bring automation right out onto the floor with us.
Okay, look at this comparison. On one side, you have the classic industrial robot. It's a powerhouse, right? Built for speed and heavy lifting, but it's so powerful that it's a danger to humans, hence the safety cage. But on the other side, you've got the cobot. It's lightweight, flexible, and, crucially, it's packed with advanced sensors. This means it can literally feel when it bumps into something or someone and stop immediately. No cage needed. This is more than just a size difference. It's a completely different philosophy. And that idea of a shared workspace is everything. It's the absolute game changer. Cobots are unlocking automation for jobs that we thought could never be automated, things that need a bit of human intuition. Think about complex assembly or subtle quality checks where you just need a person's judgment. The cobot isn't there to take over, it's there to help.
So why are they so popular? Well, the appeal is pretty obvious, especially for small and medium-sized businesses that could never dream of affording traditional automation. The return on investment is often just a year. They're super flexible. You can reprogram them for a new task in no time. And they take over the jobs nobody wants, the dull, the dirty, and the dangerous stuff. This frees up human workers to focus on what we're best at, thinking, solving problems, and coming up with new ideas.
With all those advantages, it's really no shock that the cobot market isn't just growing, it's absolutely exploding. So let's put some numbers to this revolution to see just how big it's getting. So, in 2025, we're looking at a market size of $1.9 billion. That's a pretty big number, right? For sure.
But here's where it gets really mind-blowing. The forecast for just 5 years later, by 2030, is for that market to jump to nearly $5 billion. Let that sink in. It's more than doubling in just 5 years. I mean, that's not just growth, that's a signal that this technology is blasting off from a niche idea into the mainstream.
So where's all this growth coming from? Well, the whole market's growing fast, at almost 21% a year. But look at logistics and e-commerce. It's in a totally different league, growing at a crazy 32% a year. In our world of one-click shopping and next-day delivery, cobots aren't a nice-to-have anymore. They're becoming essential. And you can see here, while the auto and electronics industries are the big players right now, everyone's got their eyes on logistics and e-commerce. As the fastest-growing slice of the pie, it shows you exactly where this tech is headed. It's completely changing how the stuff we buy actually gets to our front door. And in this booming market, there's one name that's really dominating: Universal Robots. They've got a staggering 40% of the market share. So they're not just playing the game. For now, they're pretty much writing the rule book for the entire industry.
Okay, with all this incredible potential, you might be asking yourself, so why don't I see a cobot in every single factory or warehouse? And that's a great question. The truth is, going from a cool new technology to having it everywhere is never that simple. Let's talk about the real-world obstacles.
Getting a cobot up and running is basically like solving a tricky 4-part puzzle. First, there's the tech headache. How do you get this brand new robot to talk to the factory's old software? Then there's the human part. You have to train your employees not just to use the cobot, but to actually trust it and work with it. Then you add in a whole web of complicated safety regulations. And finally, the big one, you have to prove that the upfront cost is worth it in the long run.
And this quote right here from Robin Mennings really hits the nail on the head. Just because they're collaborative doesn't mean they're risk-free. The safety of the human workers is and always will be number one. That means super careful planning,
detailed risk assessments, and really understanding all the rules that govern this new kind of human-robot teamwork.
You know, getting over these hurdles isn't just about making a new tool work. It's about a much bigger shift in how we think about making things. It's a whole new philosophy called Industry 5.0.
So if Industry 4.0 was all about creating these lights-out factories that could run themselves, Industry 5.0 is about turning the lights back on and putting people back in charge. It's a massive shift. We're moving away from replacing humans with machines and moving towards empowering humans with machines.
That word, empowering, that's the heart of this whole movement. It's about creating a true partnership where the technology does the heavy lifting and the repetitive stuff, which lets us humans unleash our real talents, creativity, critical thinking, and complex problem solving.
And in this new world, cobots are the tireless partners who handle tasks with perfect precision over and over again. This frees us up, the human workers, to be the creative thinkers, the quality inspectors, the strategists who really push a company forward. And this teamwork is what makes amazing things possible, like customizing products for every single customer, or building supply chains that don't break so easily.
Now, this idea of Industry 5.0, it's not some abstract theory for the distant future. It's actually happening right now, and it's changing what it means to go to work every day. So, let's make this personal. Let's really imagine what it would be like to have a robot as your coworker.
This table breaks it down perfectly. This is the new division of labor. Humans bring the brainpower, the expertise, the creativity, the decision-making. The cobots bring the muscle, the strength, the precision, the ability to do the same thing perfectly 1,000 times. It's a partnership where our skills don't compete, they complete each other. The result is something way more powerful than either of us could achieve alone.
And this, right here, is the key takeaway. The future of work isn't humans versus machines. It's humans with machines. Cobots aren't just automating our jobs away, they're turning our workplaces into truly collaborative spaces, where human smarts and robotic strength come together to do incredible things.
So I'll leave you with this question. Just think about your own job for a minute. What is the one task that you just hate doing? The one that's boring, repetitive, and drains all your energy. Now imagine you had a cobot coworker sitting right next to you, ready to take that task off your plate forever. What would you do with all that extra time and mental energy? Your answer to that? Well, that's a little glimpse into the future of work. And trust me, that future is getting closer every single day.